Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Wednesday, October 29th, 2014. The first article that I have to look at this morning is from SOT.net. We live in a time of rampant government paranoia. And I have several articles this morning. I am framing them all, and most of them reinforce the idea that there's this sense that the cabal is trying to wear the rest of us down. I think there's a waiting game going on. And we need to last longer than they do. And they have probably more material resources, certainly more money. But we have more spiritual and deeper spiritual resources. And it's crucial that we wait, that we hold on while they collapse. And I do believe they're collapsing, but it's taking time. And I think many of us are growing weary, and there are a lot of reasons for that. One of them is because they just keep coming back and back and back and back and back with the same ideas. One thing doesn't scare us, so try something else. They fail one time, so they roll back around. If Fulford is right and they're running out of money, they go dip into our checking accounts, which the IRS has been doing rampantly. And I've had articles showing that. And here from InfoWars, Retaliation, Feds launch new land grab targeting Bundy family. Well, they've come accustomed to us giving up. And, they try it once and they fail, so they just come back again. And that's what they're doing with the Bundy family. They were pretty much humiliated the last time they tried to grab this family's land. And now the furor has died down. And there are a lot of other things going on to distract people and hold people's attention. And now they're again trying to take away the Bundy's ranch. And that's just, again, one illustration of the things that are going on that are crafted to wear down good people who are trying to push through and hold on to our freedom. Another InfoWars article, more war on terror abuses, spying powers are used for terrorism only 0.5% of the time. And this is the kind of pressure that we are all under. People who are struggling for just causes are under this kind of pressure. The earth is under a lot of pressure. From Natural News, agrochemical pollution is causing massive tumors in sea turtles. And I also saw an article this morning that Susan B. Komen is teaming up with fracking interests to say that there is no danger to human health from the chemicals that are released during fracking. That was also a Natural News article. There is just a relentless hammering on all of us, on our health, on our psyche, on our very existence. And again, I believe it's a waiting game. I believe that it's crucial for us to persevere. From And the Lie, FBI pretended to be Seattle newspaper in order to hack suspect's computer. This stuff, it doesn't stop. And it has to eventually. We can't stop. We can't die. We can't quit. We have to press on. I found this Daily Paul article interesting. Heading for the hills is not a good survival plan, and here's why. This is information about if things really get bad, we can't all just head to the hills. And this article explains why. the natural resources would be very, very rapidly taxed. And without a plan, you know, this article states, you know, not everybody who owns a rifle can go out in the woods and shoot a deer or an elk. Pretty soon there won't be any deer and elk. So this article is advocating for having a better, a well thought out plan, not just thinking, hey, last minute I can duck out of here. That is not going to work. And I'm not into channelers. I don't think I've ever highlighted a message from a channeler. It's just not how I roll. But I saw this article this morning, and in light of the other things that I was thinking about, it had an impact on me. Kathryn May Resigns from channeling. And this lady has basically become wary of both herself being built up to think that there's going to be a sudden positive change, and of leading others to believe that there is going to be a sudden positive change. I very firmly believe in sudden positive changes. However, I think that we all need to prepare ourselves for the long haul. If there's not a sudden positive change, we need to be prepared to persevere, to keep going on, to keep opposing tyranny. Probably, you know, maybe with our last breath. Do I believe it's going to come to that? No, I don't. I do believe there is going to be positive change. But there is simply no guarantee of when that is going to come about. And I've even been at Christian prophetic conferences, and people who are teaching about prophecy, you know, encourage people to don't attach a date to things. God can speak a word, and it is true, and it is real, and it will come to pass. But the timing depends on many things. Depends on human free will. Depends on, well, that's the big one, really. But you know, there are times when God has just swept through, and there have been sweeping changes. But you know, if people repent, God may postpone judgment. That happened a lot in the Old Testament. If good people are resistant to change, that can delay positive change. That can delay God acting. And there really are any number of things that can postpone suddenlies, what we like to call suddenlies, you know, sudden positive change. So again, this is, you know, a waiting game. If we're not prepared to wait, we're going to be far more likely to fail. This is just another example. Legendary hacker leaks government plan to take over internet. Captain Crunch, this great hacker, was on Alex Jones yesterday, and he shared a lot of really interesting things. But honestly, what struck me was the fact that although he has participated in significantly helping huge corporations get their start. He was one of the first guys at Apple, and one of his designs allowed Apple to make the money they needed to go on at a certain point. And he can't even afford his own medical bills. So that is, you know, part of the pressure on good people, on freedom fighters, that resources are denied to us, and in many cases, not in all cases certainly, and that is part of the plan to wear us down and get us to throw in the towel. And this gentleman did share information about where donations can be made to him. And Alex Jones was actually calling on Apple, hey, this guy was one of your founders. Can you help him out? And if, with justice, that is what would happen. But we all, are relying on each other for help in many instances. And Alex was asking for those who are able to help this man. So how do we persevere under stress? Well, certainly good health is helpful. And from Stage 2 Omega, I have an article. These smoothies will trigger happy chemicals in the brain that can help reduce depression. And there are some recipes here for smoothies. And there's an explanation of what ingredients it is in the smoothies that do help to reduce depression. So maybe this will be helpful to some people. And ideologically, I always find it helpful and encouraging to remember the story of how the Grinch stole Christmas. And yeah, I know it's a couple months away from Christmas, but I thought of this story, and I've mentioned it before. The end of how the Grinch stole Christmas. The Who's have lost everything. They've literally lost everything except their homes. And they come out in the morning joyful and singing. And this, blows the Grinch's mind, and he repents. I'm not anticipating that the people who are putting pressure on us will repent. But being in a joyful place and appreciating the blessings that we do have draws the favor of God. And it's crucial for us to have the favor of God in order to weather the storms. And I'm closing with this today, this Bible verse from Ephesians 6:13. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Sometimes it's enough just to stand. Sometimes the best we can do is to stand. And this verse isn't about, it's not about triumphing. It's not about some great outcome, although maybe that's implied. But this verse is about, in the evil day, having done all, to stand. And may we all be so graced. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will stand, that you will love one another, that you'll even go beyond standing. Take care, and insist on liberty and justice for all.